in order to simulate that play button in the middle of the click, I will just like to execute this open and stop until here. Now I can say something like run to this activity. This will enter on debug and it will stop the execution of the robot here, or I can put a breakpoint here and then stop. Now in this case we do have a commercial, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to go and minimize, stop the robot, and create another component that it will deal with this middle button. So hit add a new sequence and say ensure video is playing. What I'll do here is very similar to try skip component, and to be honest, I'm just gonna copy this attached browser, hit paste, and I like to do something very similar. Find the play button, big play button, and of course the selector will be different. So I'm gonna go and open UiPath Explorer, make the Chrome visible and hit on that particular element with indicate element. Now the reason I'm opening UiPath Explorer is because I'm making an assumption that by default UiPath will not create a robust selector. So I would like to view all that elements, and that the only way to do it is via this tool. So as you can see, it finds that element. I'm gonna uncheck the CSS selector. I like to select the area label play, and it seems this parent class, it seems to be very relevant because it's a thumbnail overlay. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. And I think just by checking the class and unchecking the area label play, I should be able to create a robust selector. So I'm gonna go and save, highlight, and it's still here, as you can see, because I didn't click on that element. So find big play element. If play button, it's not nothing, so the flow will be very similar. So play button, UI element is not nothing, then click on the button with the same thing. And here I will probably need to tweak. So if the simulate click doesn't work, then I will need to adjust. So I would like just to run this workflow. Run the file. And as I have guessed, this simulate click doesn't work. Now I'm gonna uncheck this and check send window messages. Run the file and make the Chrome visible. And this one, it seems that it does the job. So it seems that the clip is playing. So this component is tested. And with this having in mind, let's try to wrap everything together. So what I need to do, I just need to drag not the skip commercial, the ensure video is playing just immediately after the open has been performed. So click and try to test fully functional the robot right now. I'm not going to use the mouse. So right now I do have a commercial. The click has been performed. The skip button has been clicked also. And here I'll probably need to wait 3 minutes. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to seek at the end of the video. And the replay has been performed. Great, so we're almost finishing the robot. The next step is to determine the condition where we're going to stop this loop. But this we'll do in the next video. So we know that we need to create a loop, but we don't know where to put it. Now, if you're just having a look to the behavior, after the element is clicked and we're waiting for one time, we would like to wait for a certain time. Now here I'm going to consider 1 hour, and the place where we're going to put this loop, it will be this main file. And now I hope you understand why I have extracted this invoke wait video until finish, why I have created this component. Even if this component, it's just called once, it's much easier to read this type of robot. It's opening a Chrome, it's ensure video it's playing, it's trying to skip commercial, and at the end it's trying to skip commercial. Have a look how beauty this robot is built. Now let's try to put this loop. So I'm going to use again a do while because I like to execute at least once these conditions. So I'm going to drag and drop the try skip commercial, and I'm holding control key and drag and drop. I can drag and drop using control to select multiple elements. And what I need to do here is to wait for one particular time. Now I'm going to use just 1 hour. In order to determine that, I'm going to use an assign, and I'll say something like start date. As a value of the start date, I'm going to say date time.now. I have created a variable of type not string. I need to change it to date time. I'm going to browse type and write here date time, and I need to select the one from system.datetime, which is this one at the end. Double click. So I'm just taking the time before to entering in the loop. And at the condition, I need to tell the body condition as long this one is true. So I have the time which is starting here, and I need to loop until 1 hour it will finish. Now this condition, it needs to be true. So I need to say something like start date, adding start date dot add hours. Now, if you don't know how to deal with date and times and time intervals, I do have an entire section from my new course, which I'm going to leave a link in the description, where I'm explaining how to deal with these things. I'm going to add not a month. I'm going to select the select hour. I will add 1 hour of the current time, and this should be less than the current time. So after this will be true, I'm going to try to skip commercial again, wait video until finish, and so on. So I think we should be ready to go. Let's try to close this Chrome. Okay, the first thing is to click on that button. We have skipped the commercial. Now I'm going to simulate to go at the end. The replay button has been done, and I need to, yes, we need to say the other way around, because I'm just taking the start date, which is the current, I'm adding 1 hour in the future, and this one should be greater than the current date. This is the, I'm going to try to draw it here. So I'm going to open the skipping tool, take a skipping. In order to make it clear, I'm just going to do something like here. So this is the current date where I'm going to start the robot. That's 1 hour. Forgive me about my drawing skills. And then this is the future date in the past. So this date, if you're just adding in the future, should be greater than the current date, which is just like here, because it's time pass, the current date is closer to our end, which is this time. So that's the reason I need to write the condition in the other way around. Now, if I'm just gonna save and close again this window, and actually in order to make the things more easy to read, I'll try to add some logs. So I'm gonna log message. I would use a trace, and I'm gonna say waiting. So every time when this loop, it will enter here, I'm gonna write a message, a trace message that is waiting. And let's run. And I'll try to let it on the side as an output. So YouTube video execution started. Go here at the end. Now it's keeping the commercial, which the one is at the end. So we should be able to skip it, but this doesn't happen. I think it's related to this skip ads and skip ad button. This should be fixed. I presume that because it's a skip ads, there's another commercial. And yes, this is another bug which I'm gonna fix it. So I'm gonna go in the main, click exit, but it will be very hard to reproduce. Run the file, but it will be very hard to reproduce. YouTube execution started. Let's try to seek. Let's try to seek at the end and have a look to the output. Okay, so you can see that the waiting it's appearing here, and the retry it's doing the job. The robot is working. The only thing which we have is to be able to fix that selector, which is here, the try skip commercial. This selector is not robust enough, and it doesn't considering the ads and the ad. Now I'm gonna leave this as a homework, and I'm looking forward to see your solution. With this having said, I hope you have enjoyed, and see you in the next video.